Hi, okay, I'm going to talk about my newest thriller. That is one that is actually written, finished, proofed, all ready to go, and is going to be out in 2021. Now, we did have a title. We did have a title, but it's been changed. So I'm not absolutely 100% sure what it's called now, so I can't actually tell you what the title is. But it is published by Loom Books. I believe it's going to be out in September. It might even be September the 9th. It's going to go on sale on pre-order sometime in early June, I believe, so watch out for that. So I'd like to talk in this video very briefly about how that thriller came about, because it's quite an unusual story, and I don't mean the actual story of the novel, but the story of how I came to write it. I was working on some other stuff. I was working on a World War II saga for Avon Books, which is also out this year, the Cornish Girls series. My agent got in touch and said that an editor at Loom Books had asked if I was interested in writing a particular sort of story for them. So they actually already had the idea for the book. Well, I say that, but they had the general theme of the book already in their heads, and they were looking for someone to write it, and they thought that I would probably be a good match because of the previous psychological thrillers that I'd written. And there was a bit of backwards and forwards, and I spoke a few times on the phone to the editor, and we thrashed out some ideas. So I went away and I basically wrote the synopsis, and then I sent it to this editor, and she came back to me with a couple of changes, but essentially it was the end product, the book that I eventually went on to write, was exactly what was in that synopsis, with only a couple of minor tweaks. I wouldn't describe it as a desperately complex story. It's actually very simple, but of course, because the reader doesn't know the story, the backstory, the whodunit thing, if you like, it will seem complex. So it will seem complex until you understand what's going on, and then it will seem simple. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I think it's going to be great. I haven't seen a cover yet because, as I say, we did have a title and now it's been changed. So we're still kind of waiting on art for that cover. And it may well be that by the time I'm posting this video on Patreon that I will actually be sure what that title is. Who knows? So I'll come back and do another post about that once I know more about what this book is going to be called, what it's going to look like. But as I say, I think it's going to be on pre-order from early June 2021 and actually published on sale from early September. And it's going to be the usual Holland twisty signature psychological thriller. So for those of you who really love those books, and I know a lot of you do really love those books, this is going to hit all those pleasure points, is going to tick all your boxes and more.